Path of Titans, one of the greatest dinosaur games to exist. One of them. All right, we still love Ark over here on this channel. All right, chill out. But today, I feel like using it. I think it is past due that we do a dinosaur-based survival video. Not throwing them with zombies or alien-like creatures. We're actually gonna throw them with dinosaurs this time. And in all honesty, I think it's very good here that we do use the Gowanna pack instead, or Gondwa. Sorry, Gondwa pack. Yeah, that's what I meant to say here. But with all the dinosaurs that the game has here, we are actually going to have to do some cutting here. And you might say, legendary, why is that? Who are you throwing into this environment? I mean, what could you possibly be throwing in here? Well, that's easy. We're going to throw 6 kids in here. Yeah, we're going to throw the Nublar 6 from Jurassic Park Camp Cretaceous, and they're not going to have their plot armor. Because let's be real, they should have died at a couple times here, and they got pretty much carried by my little man's over here, Darius. I mean, the only dude that really knew stuff about dinosaurs and their feeding habits. So, yeah. Now, obviously, we are going to have to establish some rules, and it's pretty simple. Let's just say that, well, the first rule is kind of obvious, that the team is aware of the island itself here. They know the map out of the island, they know the layout of the island, but they still have to choose a place where they can be safe here. So, they're pretty much going to be starting off in a safe area. At the beach, no Sarcos, no Kuekas, no nothing. But they're only going to have like a 10-minute head start like I do in all the other ones. Now, next up, we have to talk about the creatures on the island. Yes, we are going to limit them to just a few here. Now, for the aquatic creatures, we're going to keep the Kueka. And for the flyers, we are going to keep the Thalassodromes. We are also going to be keeping the Sarcosuchus as kind of like the apex predator of the sea here. It just makes perfect sense here. Now, as for the land dinosaurs, we're also going to keep Barsbodia, Amargasaurus, Pachycephalosaurus, Pysomanosaurus, which is in the Bellysaur, and obviously the GOAT, Tyrannosaurus Rex. We're also going to be giving the team supplies. They're only going to have supplies that allows them to build a base, build a headquarters. So once they pretty much have their location, they're just simply going to build it, and let's just say it's automatic, right? Like, you know how that little Tom and Jerry meme goes where they just like pull something and it automatically transforms into a house? Yeah, that's it. But let's start off with the first thing here, and that is food. Now, food in Path of Titans is actually pretty easy for them. There's honey, beehives and stuff like that. There's a bunch of berries, shrooms and stuff like that. And again, they do have pretty good cooking skills or pretty good survival skills to where they are able to eat certain things here. And again, with their base being equipped with enough supplies for not only them to build the base, but for them to, refrigerate and cook food here, I think it should be, well established that they are able to get this kind of food here. However, meat is going to be a problem because again, they have a regular human diet. I don't really think anyone would say to be a vegetarian. So, yeah, it's very interesting here. Now, the thing about it is here, they can't really just go around killing the dinosaurs here. I think Barsbodias being related to a Montosaurus, meaning they do have some strong family bonds here, and they would have some very protective means against even the likes of a Tarbosaurus. So the best way for them to get food is via fish. I could see them going into canals and rivers with probably the whole team there, and probably Darius being the one to kind of mainly look out for them and just kind of observe the area to make sure it's safe before they start fishing. Now, as for the berries and stuff here, or the herbivores and stuff like that, I don't really see them being too dangerous. I don't see Barsbodia actually going out his way to attack or actually kill the campers here. If they get too close when they have youngsters, then yes, I do see them being aggressive. But if they actually do find a lone Barsbodia, just grazing and stuff like that, I think they will be able to at least walk around it or walk to their destination without being, attacked and stuff like that. Amargasaurus is a different story. Now, it's never really stated whether these creatures are aggressive or not, but in the game, they are capable of defending themselves against the likes of Tyrannosaurus and against Pysomanosaurus. So again, they are formidable predators regardless. Sorry, not formidable predators, formidable herbivores regardless. And again, with sauropods, some sauropods do have like attitudes. Like they are very aggressive towards predators or members that are not of their herd here. And again, with a Margosaurus being a herd animal, it's pretty simple that if the group does get a little too close here or feel threatened by them, yeah, a Margosaurus is going to attack them. So it's very well they would definitely avoid any areas with possibly a Margosaurus in general, or maybe just let the herds graze and then take whatever they can right after. Now, as for base area locations, they're going to have to be very wary of their environment because they do know that Paisamonosaurus and Tyrannosaurus is in the area. I know that's a Duspletosaurus, but I'm just using it for a placeholder. So, with that being said here, I think they could actually pick up on Paisamonosauruses and Tyrannosaurus pretty easily. Darius knew the areas where the T-Rexes and the Paisamonosauruses were, and I think with them mainly approaching it from a much more cautious standpoint, even if they're carrying supplies and stuff here, well, again, we're just using like cartoon logic here that they're able to carry it here. I think they would be able to locate at least decent areas for them to, set up camp and stuff without any of them dying here. I think the areas they will definitely choose are more so in the jagged rocked areas where they can easily access, but predators can't. And I actually think that would actually be a smart idea because they will need fish in order to make, get their food and make food and stuff, or at least get a decent start on, cooking and eating the only meat substance that they can actually get their hands on, right? So with that being said here, I could actually see them making their home at the Jagged Rocks area. It's easy for them to avoid predators, or at least the Tyrannosaurus Rex and the Paisamonosaurus from those areas, and they could easily get access to water and food and stuff. Keep in mind here, they might eat, clams and stuff like that. Clams are edible food, like clams, mollusks and stuff like that. Yeah, they'll definitely be able to eat those as well. And again, these jagged rock areas allow them to perfectly avoid and hide from predators. Maybe using some of the lower areas to slip under them and then have a predator's head get stuck for a while, giving them a chance to escape here. So yeah, I definitely think the jagged rock area is going to be the best place for them to hide. Now, when they actually do establish their base here, mark where all the creatures are, I think they are going to be doing a lot of gathering. So they're definitely going to be gathering a lot of wood, a lot of supplies, and a lot of food here. This also means they are going to have to bring water back to the base. And honestly, I don't see them taking that lightly either. I mean, these are kids that have spent their islands paranoid about a dinosaur getting them even while they're asleep and stuff like that. And in all honesty, they've actually acquired some good hiding skills, albeit it's kind of dumb. I mean, they should be able to smell you, peek your head over, and then just chomp you. But they have some good ways of determining if the waters are safe or not. For starters, the Kaweka. The Kaweka going on land and possibly even resting there is probably a very good indication that the seas there are not as dangerous. Any area where Sarcosuchuses are resting or beaching and stuff like that are areas that I can honestly see the campers marking to avoid here. However, you can't limit a creature to their, location and stuff like that. Remember that this is still a dinosaur. This is still, a giant reptile here. Sarcosuchus is still capable of moving from river to river with utter ease, no matter what. So again, Sarcosuchus is going to be a very big problem in these water areas, but I can definitely see the campers likely using the Kaweka to their advantage. Now, for the main part of this video are the ones who actually die in this one. And I only have a few here. Honestly, only just 2. And the reason why is because they had a lot of instances in Camp Cretaceous where they should have died. Like, they should have been, munched, eaten, just ripped to shreds even. And yet they somehow managed to pull through it every single time because of some outside force or some coincidence that the predators, just don't want them for some reason. It's the dumbest thing here. And unfortunately, I can only see 2 dying. Now you might say, oh, well, why is that unfortunate? It's because, again, for survival videos, more than one person usually dies. More than at least 2 people usually die. But that's because Total Drama is a very much more diverse group with a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of baggage with the other characters here. And in all honesty, the characters I can see dying are Kenji. And I actually think it would actually be his own fault, in all honesty. Now again, Kanji is a good character. I mean, I know a lot of people didn't like him because he was just off most of the time here. Not to say he was like a bad character, but most of the time he kind of just like threw others under the bus instead of taking responsibility and stuff like that. And then he finally matured, which makes him a good character. But the reason why I actually see him dying is because it's likely that when things are calm and when things are up, the campers will try to live a somewhat normal life. And I can actually see a moment where he tries to take Brooklyn out, at least on like a semi day or whatever, when they're just chilling, possibly in a decent and beautiful grassland, admiring the herbivores, and they get ambushed by a pair of Paisamonosauruses here. I actually see Kenji getting Brooklyn out of there, or at least luring both of them away. And once Brooklyn escapes, he just gets chased down by the duo here, and yeah, eventually, yeah, they do get him here. He doesn't make it in this one. And in all honesty, this does kind of fit the narrative that this island isn't like Isla Nublar or, the Biosyn Island, or sorry, not Biosyn, Manticore Island or whatever, that there aren't any safe places for them to really be here. The next one I can actually see dying is Yasmin, because again, it's that unpredictability factor. I actually see Yasmin going out in the same way Kenji did, but to a different creature, and probably a much worse death than I actually thought about it. Like, I didn't think about how bad the death would be here, but she would die by a Sarcosuchus. And I think she would die saving Sammy because, again, she would do anything for Sammy. Like, this girl was running around, escaping, and then when she got cornered by the Scorpius Rex, that was about to be it here. She would have died had the Scorpius Rex not had pretty much had ADHD, excuse me, but again, yeah, the creature had ADHD. And then the sheer fact that I think she would notice the Sarcosuchus was there, but Sammy wouldn't. It would kind of just disappear for a little bit. And then once it's about to resurface, I definitely see Yas pushing Sammy out the way, and the Sarcosuchus just grabs her and just drags her into the depths. Like, it's horrible. And again, the thing is about Camp Cretaceous, these kids had a lot more close encounters than they expected. They got lucky, because what's to stop the Indominus Rex from turning around and seeing Yasmin and just biting her? Like, what's to stop her? Like, I don't get it. And then the sheer fact that if this was the full population of the island, they would all be dead, with Darius probably being the only one to last long enough, because again, he's the only one capable. The other one would be like Benji, so maybe those two would be the only survivors. But at the end of it all, I don't see a lot of them surviving a full capacity or a fully dinoized Path of Titans, excuse me, or any island map or map in Path of Titans here. These dinosaurs all fill a specific niche, and yet could still go out and just go the opposite way out of the niche. Yes, you have fish eaters, but that's not to stop them from eating an iguanodon or a sauropod. Then there's Sachiosaurus. If the group ever made like a boathouse or something, yeah, sure, they could probably build some type of electrical, fence and stuff to keep out Sarcos and stuff like that. But Sachiosaurus is going to attack it from below, and then what are they going to do then? Just try to pilot it away the best that they can into more open water, or the opposite way. And even then, there's also the sheer fact that herbivores can be dangerous as well. I mean, I did say a Margosaurus could potentially kill them if they got too close here, but there's also the possibility of them running into a Ceratopsian that pretty much just had a bad day, and it would end it right there. So in all honesty, do I see Camp Cretaceous surviving? Yes. Yes, I do. But again, it's going to come at the cost of 2 members, and once that happens, they're going to be on their toes and really not treat this island like it's Isla Nublar or Jurassic World here. So anyway, that's all I really got to say here. Please comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I hope y'all have a blessed day. Peace.